It's Mike from the Mike James Rock Show. We're at Bloodstock. It's the second day. Landfill from Municipal Waste is here. How's it going, fella? That was cool for this time of the, well, lunchtime-ish, man.
I'm all hopped up on coffee, baby.
Oh, yeah. When did you get in, man?
We got in yesterday, so I got to see a couple bands, and hang out and get drunk yesterday, so it was a good time.
Who did you see?
I saw a band called Inquisition.
Nice.
Cool black metal band, really weird, crazy vocals. They're really good, though. And I saw Testament. I saw Blind Guardian. It was a fun day.
They were interesting, weren't they, Blind Guardian?
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat them. Classic.
No. We interviewed them, and apparently they had half their stuff lost in an aeroplane somewhere, so they borrowed a lot of bits off people, and they still managed to do that last night.
Wow, yeah, that's worst case scenario when you fly into a gig like this and then your equipment doesn't arrive.
Yeah.
It really can, as a musician, it's crazy to play on someone else's guitar and gear, you know, and that can be a bad thing.
Yeah, because you've got all the set up for them as well, isn't it? Has that happened to you then? You've lost it?
There's been a couple gigs where our guitars didn't arrive in time and we had to borrow gear. I had to use Danny Lilker's bass one time at a gig in Sweden, which it was actually a pretty good bass, but you know, you want to use your instrument, you know. Exactly. It's a part of you. It's, you know, it's as much a part of you as your brain is.
Exactly,
you know?
man. It's like a Full Metal Jacket. This is my rifle. This is my gun.
Right. Yeah. So
you guys have, in the last couple of months, dropped a killer new album.
Thank you.
How's it being perceived from the band side of things? Because where we're still, it's pretty kick-ass.
Well, we've been touring a lot this summer, trying to promote the new album, Slime and Punishment, and everywhere we go, people seem generally pretty excited about what it is and all the songs, so we're just glad. This time around, we produced the album at home in Richmond, Virginia, in my home studio.
Nice.
So, which was nice because we got to take our time to create the album that we wanted, you know. No one was pressuring us to... You know, they weren't looking at the clock or anything.
So you weren't signed into a label, or is it just a case of that fact you weren't hiring a studio and...
Right, yeah, we were, so, you know, we got to just casually do things at a pace that worked for us, you know,
nice,
and Tony recorded the vocals in his living room, you know, so of course that's going to be much more comfortable than going into a studio and having a producer kind of sweat you.
Yeah, that's a proper DIY ethic towards it then, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that a little more rawness in the production is a good thing, especially for our style of music, you know.
Yeah.
So we don't want it to be too shiny. We want it to be a little rough around the edges.
Is it something you want to get into then? Is it sort of like something to keep you occupied when you're not on the road and doing stuff with band? Are you a producer and want to work with other bands and things?
Well, I've been producing records for a couple years now. I basically record all the Cannabis Corpse albums.
Oh, wow.
And also all the Iron Reagan records.
Oh, man.
So yeah, I've been making albums, and I feel like all the knowledge that I gained from making all those records, I applied to this new Municipal Waste album. I think it's my best album yet.
Are you going to be working with other bands in the future, or is it now you're just so locked into...
I barely have time to do my own stuff, so producing other bands is definitely maybe in the future, but right now I'm just having fun making my own art and you know, bringing it to all the fans out there.
Are you finding there's new tracks on the album that are like fan favorites that are really like when you play them live, getting to sing back and all that kind of stuff?
Well, it's so fresh. I haven't gotten a grip of what the fan favorites are yet, but I know which songs we play live, and we just put out a music video for a song called Breathe Grease, and the video is over the top. We had this incredible party in Portland where we had a guy in the living room of this house on a motorcycle doing donuts. We had people on...
Oh my God, yeah, I have seen this video.
Yes, we had people on bikes doing flips over a pool that had a jet ski in it, going around in circles, and it was the craziest party that I'd ever been to in my life. The party was actually crazier than the video could even portray. You know, it was wild, and I definitely ended the night face down in the dirt.
It's a sign of a good party though, man. And then
somebody had to do it.
It's all documented on film in case you forget any of it.
Yes, if you look closely, you can see me very, very drunk.
What's next for you guys? Is it literally like festivals around and then just headline runs and things like that?
Well, we just finished 2 months of touring on a tour called Warped Tour in the United States with about 70-some bands.
That's a crazy tour.
Yeah, it was a wild tour. I have never done anything quite like it. I mean, the tour band started about noon every day. You don't know what time you're going to play until about 10 that morning. The lineup shifts every day, so there's no official headliner, you know. And I think doing the rotating band thing, it works because nobody walks around thinking they're the headliner. You know, everybody kind of is on the same level. You know,
I guess also the audience would turn up early because they don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
It's like, you know,
gets everyone in the door bright and early, and it was just it was a fun atmosphere, and we got to know a lot of bands that we normally would have never met in a million years. You
discover
know?
new bands then, because it's so varied. You've got skate punk all the way through to you guys, and Hatebreed were on it as well, who are here today, and all that kind of thing.
We seem to get along with the goth bands on the tour.
Oh, really?
There was a band called New Year's Day.
Amazing band.
Yeah, you know, and that's not a band that Municipal Waste would normally play shows with, but on Warped Tour, and those guys would come out to see us every day, and then we eventually just became friends with them, and
that's cool.
And shout out to Frankie, Nikki, and New Year's Day, and there was another cool band called William Control that sounded like it was like Depeche Mode or something, and the singer William Control had this really cool style, and we ended up getting real stoked on his band.
He used to be in a band called Aiden. I don't know if you remember.
I checked that out. I didn't like that so much, but William Control is much better. It's got more of a dark atmosphere and kind of like cool. I don't know.
He did a spoken word album, which was the stories of Edgar Allan Poe after Aiden split up, and before he got into doing what he does now. He just sat down and basically read the entire back catalogue of Edgar Allan Poe, and you can get it to download and stuff. It's like spoken word books.
That fucking sounds like something he would do.
Yeah.
Amazing. I did not know that.
Is there any plans to come back to the UK and really tour the UK and get your sound out around here?
Of course. We love the UK. I feel like people in the UK have always been great to Municipal Waste.
Yeah.
I mean, our first couple albums were on Earache, which is a primarily UK label, and I feel like the people here love us. So of course we're going to come back as much as we can, you know. Sweet. And bring the thrash.
That's all we ask for, man. That's all we ask for. Thanks very much for taking some time out, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.